Are you moving to a new state and buying a new home? Well, you could be surprised by what could be missed during your home inspection. Today, we're going to go over 5 common missed items on home inspections. And feel free, if you have any questions along the way, to put it in the comments. As you may have guessed, air conditioning is one of the issues that we see a lot during home inspections, because when you have 120-degree weather, you want to make sure that those air conditioning units are up and running properly. But keep in mind that just because they're running one day doesn't mean that when temperatures really do soar, that there won't be issues. So make sure that not only are you getting them checked during the home inspection period, but even after extremely hot summers, get them re-evaluated. Then you might not consider your furnace to be an issue during a home inspection, but we can get down to below freezing at night in the Las Vegas Valley. So you always want to make sure that your furnace is also checked. And then sometimes when people replace air conditioning units, they don't replace the furnace unit. So sometimes that furnace could be a lot older than your AC. So just have your home inspector check to make sure that everything is running properly before the summer heat hits. Your home inspector should be checking each vent where airflow would be coming out. And the reason that they do this is because sometimes ductwork isn't connected where it's supposed to be. I actually had this happen with a client on a new construction home. The ductwork had just come apart, and so they just simply went back in, retaped that seal, and everything was fine. They should also have a FLIR camera which can detect hot spots. So it will show this area is hotter than this other area on the ceiling. And that could mean that there is inadequate insulation, or maybe there's insulation that's missing. So all of those hot spots are going to tell you that there's something in that attic that needs to be taken care of. The roof is another area that could be concerning. A lot of the roofs in Las Vegas are those kind of Spanish tile roofs, so you would think that they're completely durable. But what happens is sometimes those tiles will slide, leaving the underlayment exposed. So if those are sliding, you're going to want to have that repaired and then put back where they're supposed to be. Another thing that we had happen this summer that I hadn't seen before is that on those tile roofs, there's an underlayment that goes under to protect the plywood that's on the roof itself from getting wet when it rains. And the tile is on top of that. Well, when that underlayment is exposed, or even on the sides where there's that extra underlayment, you will see, if you see pictures of some of these roofs that I've seen this summer, that it's kind of curled up because it burned a little bit by being exposed to the hot summer heat. Well, when that happens, it exposes part of the roof that's not protected by those shingles or those clay tiles, and then water can penetrate. So you really do want your roof to be inspected thoroughly when getting a home inspection. Another roofing issue is debris. I have seen this so many times in Las Vegas because we have a lot of pine trees. And if those pine trees or trees in general are close to your house, when those leaves fall and they fall onto your roof, If they're trapped there, it creates a fire hazard. So do not overlook that when you get a home inspection, that, oh, that's not a big deal, because it's actually considered a fire hazard. If anything were to happen on that roof, all of that debris is just kindling for a fire. Let's talk about the attic. You may not think about the attic during a home inspection, but it is vitally important. In most cases in Las Vegas, that is where your furnace is going to be, that's going to need to be checked. If there is any damage to the roof or anything out of place, you will also see water damage in the attic. Another thing that some builders offer is called radiant heat barrier, and that is the barrier that they put on the back of the plywood that's on top of your roof, underneath your shingles, that is going to keep the heat from penetrating the attic, heating up the attic, and then that going down into your home. So sometimes when you're in the attic, you'll see that that radiant heat barrier is damaged. It's either peeled off or it's come loose. Well, that is needing to be taken care of when you see that happening, to keep the efficiency of your air conditioner and your furnace at peak performance. Plumbing and water damage is also a big concern, mostly because all of your plumbing is in the walls or it's under the house. So you want to be sure that there are no signs of previous water damage. And that could be if you open the kitchen sink and the bottom of the cabinet is kind of all crusty and that plywood is kind of torn up. Well, you know that there was probably previous water damage. Another thing to consider is that the sewer line that goes from your house to the street is not covered by insurance. So if there's ever any plumbing issues with pipes or drains or your faucets, anything like that, you may want to consider having a plumber run a line to make sure that that main sewer line is not broken. I have heard of horror stories that have cost clients between $5,000 and $20,000 needing that repair to be done. So make sure that if that is a concern of yours, that you have that checked out. Another area that you're going to find signs of previous water damage are going to be the ceiling. You're going to see just those little, maybe water spots that are dripping down. Get those checked out. It could be from an old leak, or it could be a leak that the seller doesn't even know is happening. But whatever it is, make sure that your home inspector checks that out. If you're new to my channel, I'm Eileen Guilbeault, your go-to real estate advisor for all things relocating to Las Vegas. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you're notified every time a new video is uploaded. Another thing that you want to make sure your home inspector checks is your electrical. Sometimes these breakers that are added to these homes just don't have enough to supply everything that we've added to our daily lives, with pools being added, to technology, to all of the electric vehicles that are on the road today, and smart home features. So be sure that when your home inspection is done, the electrical is checked, because it could save you a big repair bill down the line. One thing you may not have considered about moving to Las Vegas is that we have homes here that were built in the 40s and 50s. So keep in mind that whatever the codes were back in the day, if there haven't been any updates or remodels or anything done, they could still be in pretty original condition. So you want to have somebody that you trust come in and check out to make sure everything is working okay. And if you're going to do a remodel that brings everything up to code, it could be a little bit more than you bargained for. So make sure those experts are familiar with working with subfloors. Some areas of the country, that's mostly what they have, but newer homes in Las Vegas have concrete foundations, but you still will find a subfloor now and again in an older home. And one of the things that home inspectors will find when they're in those subfloors is that animals of all varieties have made their homes there, maybe chewed up some of those wires, and maybe left you little surprises. So just know what home inspector to hire that's familiar with these unique kinds of homes that you will find in Las Vegas. Have you ever found an electrical issue in your home? If so, what was your first clue? Share it in the comments below. Another area is home energy efficiency. Make sure that your windows and doors are properly able to open and close, that they are not letting in or out drafts that are costing you more money on your electric bill. And keep your AC and furnace really functioning at the highest level possible to keep your energy costs down. And if you are buying a new home, in your laundry room, usually there is a fan that has a switch up higher than you can probably reach, and you'll hear this motor running. And it's just because homes today have such a tight envelope that the air circulating from the outside really doesn't get in. So if you turn that off, the air in your home could get stagnant. So make sure to keep everything flowing properly by getting all of those things inspected. A great home inspector is worth their weight in gold. Here are just a few issues that my home inspectors have found and saved my clients thousands of dollars, from broken trusses in the attic, improperly installed gas lines, mold, cracks in the foundation that show that the house was actually sinking. There are things that have saved my clients thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in repair. So make sure also, last tip, that your home inspector does a re-inspect. Because even if you ask for these items to be repaired, you want to make sure that they were done correctly. So bringing that home inspector back out to make sure that everything was done above board and is good to go, that is really an added benefit to your home inspector. For more videos about relocating to Las Vegas and real estate tips, be sure to watch one of the videos on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'll see you the next time.